What is up, YouTube? My name is Trinity and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. It feels so good to say that again after months of not uploading, not recording anything. I've been writing scripts this entire time, but not having the mindset to really actually set everything up to record has been a struggle for me, but I am so glad to be back. So today we are going to be continuing on a topic that we were talking about before my break. One of my last videos was about creepypastas and a little background as to how I discovered these creepypastas and my thoughts and opinions on them. But now I want to come back and actually tell you my favorite ones. Now, something that you're going to notice about all of these favorites of mine is that they're not just necessarily stories from the internet, that they are actually at least based on TV shows and video games. At least the first two have to do with someone experiencing something that nobody else gets to, or a very small group of people experienced altogether that they don't really have evidence for. It kind of becomes lost in the internet that they were made up to begin with. So the first one I'm going to discuss with you guys is a TV show called Candle Cove. Now, this was written in 2015 by a web cartoonist named Chris Straub. Now, the entire story takes place on a web forum called Net Nostalgia, and it opens with a poster asking if anyone else remembers a TV show from the 70s that played around 4 p.m. on Channel 58. It was a low-budget kids TV show that the poster didn't fully remember, and he asked if anyone knew what he was talking about. Another poster responded, vaguely remembering the name Candle Cove, and then recalled a couple of the characters, a pirate-themed marionette and a little girl. The original poster, or OP as I'm going to call them going forward, immediately remembered after hearing these details. He remembered that the name of the pirate in question was named Pirate Percy, and he had actually been scared of this marionette because it looked like it was built from pieces of other dolls, the head being an antique baby doll head that didn't really match the rest of the body. A third poster listed all that she could remember about the show. It took place in Candle Cove, and it was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Laughingstock, and Pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate because he got scared too easily, and there was calliope music constantly playing. Don't remember the girl's name. Janice or Jade or something. I think it was Janice. The posters went back and forth for a while, discussing their memories of the show and poking fun at the low-quality budget. Then, the OP asked if anyone else remembered the villain of the show, a puppet with a handlebar mustache and tall, narrow teeth. Another poster corrected them, saying that that was actually the sidekick of the main villain, named Horrible Horace. The true villain of the show was another marionette called the Skin Taker. The puppet had a tattered hat and cloak that was all sewn up. Another person asked, was that supposed to be children's skin? Someone else added that the way the Skin Taker's mouth moved was abnormal. Instead of opening and closing, its jaw just moved side to side as it was speaking. When Janice, the main character, asked the Skin Taker why he talked like that, he said it was to grind her skin. The OP expressed how excited and relieved he was that he wasn't the only one that remembered this TV show, and then shared a nightmare that he had as a child about this show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had where the opening jingle ended, the show faded in from black, and all the characters were there. But the camera was just cutting to each of their faces, and they were just screaming, and the puppets and marionettes were flailing spastically. And just all screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she had been through hours of this. I woke up many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed all the time when I had it. Another commenter posted that they didn't think it was a dream because they remembered seeing it as well. The OP said that wasn't possible. Why would a station air such a traumatic episode of a kid's show? Despite this, though, others jumped in to describe their own memories of this episode. Oh god, yes, the little girl Janice. I remember seeing her shake. And then the Skin Taker screaming through his gnashing teeth. His jaw careening so wildly I thought it would come off its wire hinges. I turned it off and that was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my mother and we didn't have the courage to turn it back on. The forum ended there, until a few days later when one of the original posters said that he had visited his mother in a retirement home and had asked her if she recalled the show at all. I visited my mom today at the nursing home. I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s, when I was 8 or 9, and if she remembered a kid's show, Candle Cove. And she said, because I used to think it was so strange that you said, I'm going to watch Candle Cove now, Mom. And then you would tune the TV to a static station and just watch dead air for 30 minutes. You had a big imagination with your little pirate show. Now, obviously this is a fictional story, but it's still creepy as hell. Imagine you remember something that you think it could have just been something that I didn't quite experience. It could have been a dream or something, but then others validate you that it did happen, and you're just kind of going around giving details and jogging other people's memories, and then you keep adding on to that until it's so real, and you start digging up like these traumatic events related to it, and then suddenly none of it happened, but it did for you guys because obviously you all have the same memories, but nobody else experienced it. It reminds me of a Mandela effect. If you were on the internet at all during 2010, you definitely remember a certain open world, pixelated, cubic game that people still play today. Yes, I'm talking about Minecraft, and I am talking about Herobrine. So when Minecraft first came out, the only way I could play it was on Pocket Edition. And because it was the mobile version of a bigger computer game, or consoles too at the time, it didn't have as many features as the other versions had, and so at first I didn't really like it, because unless I was playing multiplayer with my friends at school on our little iPods or whatever, it felt very eerie and creepy. And that creepiness got turned up once I started hearing about Herobrine, this rumor about this entity that enters your game and just fucks you up or stalks you or is just creepy in general. The somber music mixed with a very quiet, empty world, but then thinking that possibly somewhere in this very empty world, something that's not supposed to be there is watching you is very creepy. It wasn't until much later that I discovered that Herobrine was completely fictional. I thought maybe it was a mob that they tried to take out of the game, but didn't quite succeed at it. I don't know how it worked, but for a long time I did think it was kind of legit. Now I'm going to read you the origin story of Herobrine, the post that started it all. I had recently spawned a new world in single-player Minecraft. Everything was normal at first. Everything was normal at first as I began chopping down trees and crafting a workbench. I noticed something move amongst the dense fog. I have a very slow computer, so I have to play with a tiny render distance. I thought it was a cow, so I pursued it, hoping to grab some hides for armor. It wasn't a cow, though. Looking back at me, it was another character with the default skin, but his eyes were empty. I saw no name pop up, and I double-checked to make sure I wasn't in multiplayer mode. He didn't stay long. He looked at me and quickly ran into the fog. I pursued out of curiosity, but he was gone. I continued on with the game, not sure what to think. As I expanded the world, I saw things that seemed out of place for the random map generator. 2x2 tunnels in the rocks, small perfect pyramids made of sand in the ocean, and groves of trees with all their leaves cut off. I would constantly think I saw the other player deep in the fog, but I never got a better look at him. I tried increasing my render distance too far whenever I saw him, but to no avail. I saved the map and went onto the forums to see if anyone else had found the pseudo player. There were none. I created my own topic, telling of the experience and asking if anyone had a similar experience. The post was deleted within 5 minutes. I tried again and the topic was deleted even faster. I received a PM from username Herobrine containing the word stop. When I went to look at Herobrine's profile, the page 404'd. I received an email from another user. He claimed the mods could read the forum user messages, so we were safer using email. The emailer claimed that he had seen the mystery player too, and had a small directory of other users who had seen him as well. Their worlds were littered with obvious man-made features as well, and described their mystery player to have no pupils. About a month passed until I heard from my informant again. Some of the people who had encountered the mystery man had looked into the name Herobrine and found the name to be frequently used by a Swedish gamer. After some further information gathering, it was revealed to be the brother of Notch, the game's developer. I personally emailed Notch and asked him if he had a brother. It took him a while, but he emailed me back a very short message. I did, but he is no longer with us. Now this last entry might be a little bit controversial just because it's not technically a creepypasta, or it might be, but it's also not. It's not a story. It's not based on any posts or anything. It is an actual video game. It is a text-based video game created by Michael Lutz called The Uncle That Works for Nintendo. Now, even if it's not a story, it still definitely fits the internet creepypasta format in my opinion, so I still wanted to add it on here. For those of you that don't know, this game is based on, you know those rumors that kids tell, like, on the playground when they're really young, like, oh, my insert family member works for insert company, so I have, like, insider knowledge on this video game or this phone or whatever else. I remember this one person I went to school with was notorious for this, from elementary school all the way to high school, constantly lying about the dumbest shit. And it was very obvious too. Like, I didn't even buy it when I was younger, but I don't know what they were thinking continuing, like, the type of lies they were telling up into high school. But it's based off of, like, you know, those playground rumors, those lies that kids tell to be cool to their friends. So you play as an 11-year-old in the 90s having a sleepover with a very wealthy friend of yours. When you get to their house, they show you a bunch of new unreleased Nintendo consoles, and when you ask how the hell did they get them, it's because their uncle works for Nintendo. You guys play together on a Nintendo 64, and through dialogue options, you can learn more about your relationship with this character. The parents of your friend then let you know that the uncle that works for Nintendo will be visiting you guys later that night. And then from there, you go through multiple different interactions that become stranger and stranger, and you kind of realize that there are gaps in your friend's memory, or they remember things that didn't happen, and it just brings up a lot of questions. Who are they really? What are they hiding? They're very inconsistent, and you get a feel that something is not right. Now, there are 6 different endings to this game. I'm not going to spoil them for you, but if you do indeed stay until midnight, you will get to meet the uncle that works for Nintendo. Now, I have met my fair share of creepy uncles in my life, but this is not someone that I would like to meet, because a lot of fuck shit happens after this. Again, I don't want to spoil too much for you, but if you do want to play the game, I will leave a link down below in the description so you can either play it yourselves, or sometime in the future, maybe I will stream it for you guys. But that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I know I said it in my last little update, but thank you guys so much for sticking around, and to the people that subscribed in my absence, and just the support that I received. It has been a long, hard recovery, and I'm still not fully 100% yet, but getting back to this, I feel like it's a step towards getting back to my normal and getting back to me. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.